before I continue, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the notification button so you know exactly when I come on. I appreciate all of you for what you do. So, guys, the topic for this video pretty much is how to pass the NPTE for PTAs today. Okay, so I will be sharing a lot of tips that you guys can use out there. I'm talking about for all of you that will be taking the exam soon and just for the coming year. I'm going to share a lot of tips that will help you to pass your exams, okay? But before I continue, guys, I would like to drop a few dates, which I'm sure a lot of you are cognizant of, okay? So for the PTA exam, first of all, there are dates, scheduled times that these exams take place every year, okay? So for the upcoming year, which is 2026, I just wanted to read this real quick. I know some of you know about it, some don't, but let's just kind of go over it before I continue with the tips, okay? So if you plan on taking the exam January the 6th and the 7th, okay, the deadline pretty much was December the 2nd. Okay, so for a lot of us that did not register at that time, you will have to be taking the next exam. So the next one, I believe, according to my notes here, is April the 7th and the 8th. And the deadline to apply for that exam or register for that exam is March the 3rd, okay? Also, we have here, if you plan on taking the exam July the 8th and the 9th, okay, then the deadline to register for that exam is June the 3rd, okay? I also have here, if you plan on taking the exam October the 6th and the 7th, so the deadline to apply or to register for that exam is September the 1st. Now, all this information, guys, I got it from the fsbpt.org website. So for more accuracy, go back and check out those dates, okay? Just check out those dates and don't say, hey, the PTA coach said. No, you have to go according to what's on that website because it is very, very accurate, right? So make sure you're cognizant of that. All right, so I want to share a lot of tips with a lot of us, and these are things that made me successful, guys. I was able to go and take the exam and pass. Now, once again, I've been a therapist, a PTA, for a very long time. So a lot of the tips I'm going to share with you guys will help you to cross that bridge. When I say cross the bridge, I mean you getting your license, okay? All right, so the first tip I want to share with a lot of us is Scorebuilders, guys. A lot of us might be using different books to study at this time, or you've been studying with other books, but one of the books that I used to be successful, okay, is Scorebuilders. Get the book. I know next time, guys, I'll have the book here. A lot of you that are PTAs, PTAs and PTA students would know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So it is the Scorebuilders book. Make sure you get that book and make sure you use that to start the process of studying or continue doing your studying. Now, the book is huge, guys. The book is about that big. It has a lot of things. It has a plethora of topics. Now, on the exam, a lot of you know there will be 5 main areas we will be tested on, right? 5 main areas, okay? So you have your musculoskeletal, you have your cardiopulmonary, you have your nervous system, you have other systems and non-systems. Those are the 5 main areas, okay? 5 main areas you will be tested on. So make sure you go through those. Now in that book in Scorebuilders, they go into detail about things like that, okay? Now, the next thing I use, guys, for studying is called PTA 365. It's an app. You can download that app onto your phone or onto your laptop or desktop. That is also a good avenue for studying. As a matter of fact, every day, I still answer questions on that app, even though I already have my license and I'm good to go. It's a very good app to test your knowledge. It comes up with random questions every day, okay, and then you answer the question. Even if you get it wrong, it will explain to you the rationale behind the correct answer. So make sure you get that PTA 365 app. Now, the next tip I want to share with a lot of you is practice exams, okay? We cannot bypass the practice exams, guys, because how do you truly test your knowledge if you're not taking practice exams, right? Some of you might recommend the PEAT, okay? Personally, I did not use the PEAT, but I will not go against you using the PEAT to test yourself, okay? And guys, the practice exams are the truth because it will reveal areas of weakness and also areas of strengths. So make sure you pay close attention. Now, when you take those practice exams, don't go memorizing the question. It does not do us any good. Actually try to understand the correct answers and why they are the correct answers, okay? You want to do that. So your practice exams are very important. So for example, for a lot of you taking the exam January the 6th and the 7th, okay, January 6th and the 7th, by now you should have already taken at least 4 practice exams. I mean, before now, okay, because the exam is just like a week away, okay? It's a week away. So make sure you take those practice exams. The fourth tip I want to share with a lot of you is I want you to go and do a brief review of any kind of basic kinesiology out there, like an app or a book. Check that out, okay? And then also your anatomy and physiology book. If you have book, I know I say book, guys, but apps, anything in that line, go back and review, okay? In my opinion, it's almost impossible to pass the PTA exam if you don't knock down the 3 major areas. Now, everything is important, but the 3 major areas, in my opinion, would be the musculoskeletal, the cardiopulmonary, and nervous system. Those 3 areas are pretty much heavy. When you get the Scorebuilders book and check it out, guys, when they show you how possibly the questions will be allocated, you will notice that those 3 main areas have a lot of questions, okay? So those are important. Now, outside of these 4 main tips that I just shared with you guys, I've said this so many times on my channel. Anything is fair game, okay? When it comes to the exam, guys, don't overlook anything in your book, anything that you're studying, anything, okay? It's fair game. That's why we cannot ignore those things. Now, I will be sharing more tips, but I want to say this real quick. When it comes to answering questions on the exam, guys, once again, I don't write the exam. I don't know what the questions are. I want you to think about it this way. For everything that you're studying, there's 4 or 5 possible ways that a question could be asked on what you're studying. For example, when we talk about things like posture, once again, come to the workshop, guys, where we go into detail. When we talk about anatomical position, the different planes of the body, okay? There's so many ways the questions could come for that. You could get a question on posture, right? The question could be things like someone that has arthritis or somebody that has scoliosis. How would they present? So there's like different ways to ask about a certain topic. If it's things like DVT, there's so many ways they can ask the same question about DVT. Now, when it comes to knowledge, in my opinion, and I feel this is the way you're being tested, right? There's basic, there's intermediate, and there's advanced. You will notice that when you download the PTA 365 app, okay? When you download that app, when you answer questions, it's going to tell you at the end if the question is a basic question, if it's an intermediate question, or advanced question. So you have to think about it that way. As a matter of fact, when you're coming into this exam, you have to have a different mindset. It's not just good enough to know the fundamentals of every single thing. That's good, but we have to know a little bit more than just the fundamentals of a lot of things, okay? So those are my 4 tips, pretty much. Scorebuilders, make sure you have that book, use that for your review. Make sure you download that PTA 365 app, okay, because it has a question that you can answer every day. Make sure you read the rationale, even when you get the question right, or why it is the right answer, okay? If it's wrong, why it's the wrong answer. I want you guys to do your practice exams. As a matter of fact, like I said, I did not use the PEAT. I used the practice exam inside the Scorebuilders, okay? I use that to study. Make sure you do your practice exams, okay? And make sure you review areas of strengths and weaknesses. Also, like I said earlier, I want you guys to do a brief overview, a brief review or studying of kinesiology, okay? And also anatomy and physiology. Don't dive too deep, but know where the bones and the bodies are, know where the muscles are, know where certain things are in the body, okay? The heart, how does it function? The brain, what's in there? What makes up the brain, okay? So just make sure you do a good review of things like that. So I will be coming back later to share more tips. I appreciate you guys for joining. Please please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification button so you know exactly when I come on. I will be sharing more and more and more tips, especially for a lot of you that have exams coming up very, very soon. I'm talking about January 6th and the 7th, okay? If you have any questions for me, you can actually send an email to my email address. It's my last name, AKALUSO, the number 40 at gmail.com. That's Akaluso40@gmail.com. Okay, you can also drop a message or drop a comment there, and I'll get back to you. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Please go out there and enjoy your day. And remember, we have a bright future ahead of us. The job market is very, very good. I want you to focus on the exam and pass the exam. Remember, it is possible, and I want you to explore the possibilities. Have a great day and stay blessed. Bye-bye.